What's up, everybody? Brett Mix here for you, Macho Wrestling 101. Here today to review SummerSlam. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and because we do history of wrestling every day on this channel. Stick up to date with Raws, SmackDowns, pay-per-views, or as they call them, PLEs now. So this would be a good idea to start following the channel as I'm trying to grow it. So that would be appreciated. We're doing SummerSlam 2014, August 17th. 2014 from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Let's get right to it. The Dolph Ziggler, again, this has got to be the fourth time in 6 years or the fourth time in 5 years he's began the pay-per-view from SummerSlam from LA. I'm not sure if he had the same music the whole time, the I Am Perfection line. I'm not sure if that's the same theme that he had for all 5 of them, or for all 4 of these appearances. Maybe it's 5 out of 7, if not 4 out of 6. Nonetheless, he was challenging The Miz for the Intercontinental title. The Miz was the Intercontinental Champion going in here as the heel. And these guys went back and forth. Ziggler worked on The Miz's knee, his left knee, the whole match. Tried to ground him, take him off his vertical base, that kind of thing with the power wrestling. Miz applied the figure 4 leg lock deep into the match. Deep into the bottom of the 8th, you could say. And Ziggler got to the ropes for the break after 1 minute. And then Ziggler hit the Fameasser with his right leg. And Miz came back with the skull-crushing finale. Ziggler kicked out at 2. And then Miz was surprised after that kick out by Ziggler as it was a near fall. But then Ziggler hit the zigzag on Miz and got the victory at 7:57 as the two exchanged finishers. And Ziggler is the new Intercontinental Champion. So that was a decent opener. I give it about 2 stars and 3/4. There was some chemistry there for sure. It was a decent match to open up the pay-per-view. They always love Dolph Ziggler for these openers. He fairly does a good job. I don't think there's been a bad Ziggler opener in SummerSlam history, so you can see they go with what works. Going with what works is the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. Paige and AJ Lee were up next for the Divas title. AJ Lee was the face defending against Paige, who was the heel challenger on her birthday, by the way. Obviously, the crowd was chanting for CM Punk when AJ was out there, as Punk had left the WWE a little bit earlier in the year. I believe it was right after the Royal Rumble. So they were still chanting Punk as they did for the next 2-3 years. Hell, you still hear it chanted. As I'm recording this, it's November 13th, 2023, and there's rumors about him coming back still. It's been like this for 10 years, every time it's Royal Rumble season, or Survivor Series, or WrestleMania, whatever. Back to the match. AJ with the running boot got a 2. Paige kicked her in the face and took too long to capitalize it, so AJ hit the Black Widow submission. Paige fought out of that, though, and ended up cradling AJ in her arms, dropping her with a snap DDT called the Rampage. And she got the victory at 4:55. So we have a new Ladies Divas champion in Paige, who gets the birthday win. And the new Divas champion is Paige on her birthday, as the crowd weren't for that. Some fans were. Some people like Paige, even though she was the heel. Didn't get too much minutes to work with, but it was still an effective match. I give it what I gave the opener, 2 stars, 3/4. I thought it was a good match for the ladies. Next up, it's a flag match with Rusev versus Jack Swagger. Zeb Coulter in Swagger's corner and Lana in Rusev's corner. So it's the flag match. Swagger aggressive early on. The Swagger bomb by Swagger. He had his ribs hurt. Whenever Rusev was on offense, it was methodical. He wore his Swagger down. This is a power wrestlers match, so even though it's a flag match, they got the stipulation. These are 2 power wrestlers that rely on submission holds, so the offense is going to always seem methodical and kind of slow down. Rusev hit a splash in the ring. Rusev applied the Anaconda. The Accolade, I'm reading my notes, and I thought Accolade said Anaconda Vice. The Accolade submission again, and sold pain on his face. Swagger tried to fight it, but passed out. The ref called for the bell, and Swagger was knocked out, so it went 9:01. And that's your winner, Rusev. This is the 3rd match in a row. I'm going to rate 2 stars and 3/4. It was good for the time given, but these guys didn't really get the time to make it something more than that. It was a decent match. Like I say, the offense is methodical, so it's gonna be wearing down the opponent. That's gonna be a big thing in that match. However, the next match that would change, because the next match we have Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, lumberjack match. This is one of the oldest wrestling gimmick matches, and it worked back in the day, but these days it didn't work. But this is probably one of the most entertaining lumberjack matches, actually, because these are a throwaway match when you want to involve the wrestlers, but not every wrestler is on the card, that kind of thing. But or when you have two wrestlers that where somebody can get outside interference, they want to make sure there's tons of outside interference so that the little bit of outside interference won't be the difference maker in kayfabe land. But no, it's Dean Ambrose one-on-one with Seth Rollins here, and the Lumberjacks made their way outside. It was about 20 wrestlers. Damian Sandow actually dressed like a lumberjack, which was funny. Guys like Kane and Goldust were out there, Sin Cara. But yeah, this was a pretty big brawl here. The fans chanted, "This is awesome," after a huge clothesline that Rollins sold by doing a flip by Ambrose. Ambrose talked some trash and then hit the curb stomp, which is Seth's move. Kane broke up the pin. Goldust got in his face. Kane nailed him with an uppercut. All the Lumberjacks went into the ring and started brawling with each other. It was crazy. They all ended up outside the ring. Ambrose sent Harper out of the ring and then gave Rowan a clothesline over the top. When Dean turned back around, Rollins nailed Ambrose with the Money in the Bank briefcase that he had at the time. And Seth Rollins goes over at 10:50 to beat Dean Ambrose in, like I said, one of the better lumberjack matches. I rate 3.5 stars. Entertaining and sets the bar for modern day lumberjack matches. We can just say that. Next up, we had a very over Bray Wyatt as a heel against Chris Jericho, who's a face here. Jericho had spent the last few SummerSlams a heel, so now he's a babyface. But Bray Wyatt was really over. The Fireflies with the cell phones in the air. This is brand new. It was a brand new thing at the time. Not brand new, but it was relatively new within the year. The Wyatt family really got over in 2014. You'll remember at Elimination Chamber 2014, they had that 6-man tag where everybody chanted, "This is awesome," before the Shield and the Wyatts even laid a hand on each other. So the Wyatt family really grew in 2014. This match was a seesaw match. Jericho opened up early, then Bray Wyatt dominated the middle match. Jericho went for some finishing moves, then Wyatt countered back and ended up hitting Sister Abigail to Jericho into the barricade. That was a really good spot. And then he nailed him with an upper thumb to the throat. Wyatt gave Jericho the Sister Abigail again back in the ring and got the victory at 12:53. So a solid match here. Wasn't given enough time to be an all-time classic, but I rate this match 3.5 stars, just like the Lumberjack match. Both matches 3.5 stars. Very impressed by the work Wyatt and Jericho did for the time they had. They only had a dozen minutes. So next up, we had Brie Bella taking on the boss lady, Stephanie McMahon. This was Stephanie's first match in a long time, and she had her attire and she seemed to be in good shape. She hit some impressive moves. She hit the Mr. Perfect neck snap for a neck snap for a 2, and the crowd chanted, "You still got it." Brie hit a Thez press and some kicks in the corner because the crowd chanted yes for all of her offense. Triple H came down to the ring and Brie told him to get off the apron. Nikki Bella also came out to even it up. Brie applied the yes lock on Stephanie. She was going to have the match won, but Triple H pulled her out of the ring. Brie then hit a drop kick outside on Hunter as the fan shouted yes. Nikki went into the ring and Stephanie had no part. She moved Stephanie out of the way and then purposely hit a forearm to her twin Brie, turning on her. But and then when the forearm was hit on purpose, Stephanie hit the pedigree on Brie, and she won at 11:06. So Stephanie McMahon with the victory. All in all, I gave this match 2.5 stars. I thought it was impressive for Stephanie. I thought they did the job well. The job of the match, not the job as in a jobber. They both did the job well for the time they got. I think 2.5 stars is sufficient for this match. Next up, we had a big match is Roman Reigns, who they're trying to push as the new top face, versus Randy Orton. So Randy Orton's the heel, the diabolical Viper character, against Roman Reigns, who was the leader of the Shield, and now he's the top babyface, trying to make it as the top babyface. This is before he really wrecked all those promos with sniveling, suck-up form of suffering, succotash, son. This was before that. Oh, I know, that was very hard to say. Yeah, it was before all that shit. So, Roman Reigns was somewhat tolerable as a face at this point right here. Just like John Cena was tolerable as a face in 2004. And then all of a sudden, he became Super Cena, buried everybody, did the corny promos, just like Roman started to do. In the Suffering Succotash promo, he also said, "My friend here's got donkey dung for brains." Good God, that was a terrible Roman promo. Sniveling. Okay, I'll stop. Some succotash, son. Don't mind me. I'm just laughing at the succotash line by Roman Reigns in the middle of a review that I'm sorry that I'll get right back to. Again, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. What can I say here? They had a great match. It was the biggest win of Roman's career at the time. I rated 3 stars and 3/4. It was a borderline classic. They gave them the time to work. There's some methodical wear downs in the mid match, but overall, I think it was solid. So 3 stars, 3/4 seems about right. Roman Reigns did get the victory. Orton took forever to set up a punt kick, and he avoided the kick and then ended up hitting a spear for the victory at 16:55 or 16:30 rather. And Roman Reigns was the victor. Next up, we have got the main event: John Cena and Brock Lesnar. This is a notorious. This match is somewhat notorious for how it was a beatdown. Cena got the shit kicked out of him in this match. John Cena would still hit in some offense, some finishing moves here and there, but most of the match was Brock Lesnar kicking the shit out of Cena, Cena selling, Cena not trying to give up, and then Cena just ultimately falling as Lesnar hit the F5 again and won at 16:05. Lesnar's dominance was put over. Lesnar was the heel challenger here in the match. Brock won by pinfall, became the new WWE champion. Just a huge dominant win. I rated it 4 stars and 1/4. I'm more of a fan of this match than a lot of other people, just because it wasn't, that's a better term. It wasn't afraid to go to places that other SummerSlam main events didn't go to. It wasn't afraid to make Brock Lesnar still unstoppable. They just had him beat the streak a few months earlier. It made logistical sense for them to have him kick the shit out of Cena and be this unstoppable heel that he became even more so at the end of this pay-per-view. I rate this pay-per-view probably 7 out of 10. I think it was a good SummerSlam overall. There was a lot of good matches. Maybe 7.5 out of 10. Let's do that. 7.5 out of 10. There was 3 or 4 good to great matches there. 2 of them could be called classics. So 7.5 out of 10 sounds right. That's what I'm gonna. That's the final grade I'm gonna give it. So that's SummerSlam 2014. If you have feelings on the event, write so in the comment section. Keep watching the SummerSlam reviews. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And we'll be back for SummerSlam 2015. I'm Brett Mix. These are my opinions. And thanks for watching, and I'm out.